afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, April 3rd, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. Nothing is lacking in you. You cannot be improved upon. You cannot be improved upon. People who try to improve you are destroying you, and they are the real mischief makers. There are so many improvers in this world. That's why the world is in such a chaos. There are too many people trying to improve you. Don't allow anybody to improve you. You are already the last word. You are not only the Alpha, you are the Omega as well. You are whole, complete, and perfect. Even if you feel imperfect, that imperfection is perfect. Do not worry about it. It will look strange to others if you say that your imperfection is also perfect and nothing is lacking in you. Yet the fact is that you appear imperfect, not because you are imperfect, but because you are a growing perfection. We all think perfection cannot evolve, because what we mean by perfection is that which has come to its last growth. This definition of perfection is dead. God is perfect because God lacks nothing. God goes on growing from one perfection to another. The growth continues. God is evolution, not moving from imperfection to perfection, but from perfection to more perfection, to still more perfection. Osho. That makes a major impact for many people once they understand who and what they are. And of course, many of us are distracted. We're drawn in many different directions. And it's all about the external entertainment, the external authority, externalism, externality. It's a continual pulling us and distracting us and really motivating us not to go within, but to stay outside. Flood love everywhere you possibly can. Flood the love. Whomever you've assigned the role of upsetting you the most today is your greatest teacher. Without them, you would never see the illusion of your ego, and you would realize how to free yourself from it. Everything is a deep, eternal love in disguise. We don't use blessing because blessing, if you break down the word, be less, there's been a lot of trickery played on this civilization. We use deep, eternal love for everything. I am deep, eternally loved, deeply, eternally loved instead of blessed. So it's just a matter of choice. It's basically the bottom line. It's a matter of how you perceive things. And the biggest thing that we talk a lot about in our meditations is so important is that if fear has been dominating your life, retreat. You can let it go. Forgive yourself. Free the others and release whatever has happened in your past. You can move on. It is not worth it to hang on to any low vibration for another day. Trust that all the trauma you received in life was given by God to wake you up from this deep, sleepy dream. We are all asleep, and everyone has been caught in some dramatic, perpetually self-wounding victim spin cycle. Taught to never to trust in life, ourselves, or anyone else again. Have you ever come across anybody without judgment that believes that everybody's out to get them? Everybody's out, they're looking over their shoulder, they're constant, they're cynical, they're bitter, I got to get them before they get me. Just let it go and remember you are still lovable, worthy, totally amazing, exactly as you are. You just signed up for a massive class in spiritual growth and radical enlightened maturity. Whatever our past life circumstances might have been, because I guarantee you, all of us have incarnated more than once, and we haven't always been sweet little angels. So whatever our past life circumstances might have been, because we carry that, we just aren't consciously aware of it. We are always given the choice how we wish to respond to them now. Every time we choose trust over fear, everyone's heart opens a bit wider. We feel a more gentle, healing heart, warming energy coming in. This warm, trusting heart is needed in this life. For the divine intelligent universe is always testing our level of awareness, checking in to see how awake we are. The test is always the same. How will we choose to respond? With more trust or fear? It's up to us. It's always up to us. Believe it or not, it is always up to you. It might throw us a bag of super sour lemons just to see if we know how to add some playful, creative sweetness and make a pitcher of lemonade. To not value the gift of a human incarnation is like trading a diamond for a head of cabbage. To not value the gift of a human incarnation is like trading a diamond for a head of cabbage, Vedic sage. It's good to know that the opposite of fear is not love. It is trust. The opposite of fear is not love, it is trust. Yet through living a life of trust, we naturally start falling in love with everything and everyone. With 100% trust, we become a loveaholic of life, feeling naturally orgasmic about this precious opportunity we have to live, feeling completely turned on by this chance to find our spiritual path and connection. The expansive feeling in the heart can become so divinely open that every breath feels as though we are making love with the divine. Are you ready to sign up for choosing a life devoted to always responding with trust yet? The spiritual power we receive from the trust vibration is simply awesome. Total trust effortlessly engulfs all kinds of egoic negativity that may try to dominate any room. When a person who has 100% unshakable trust enters any community, it is so penetrating and contagious that everyone's ego eventually falls into either embarrassment or humility. Remember that. When a person who has 100% unshakable trust enters any community, it is so penetrating and contagious that everyone's ego eventually falls into either embarrassment or humility. When this group of people all simultaneously begin choosing trust over fear, you can feel this giddy, enlightening joy exponentially expanding through everyone's lives. The group energy becomes more relaxed and at ease with their life, their future, and everything as it is. To live a life flowing with trust. It's important to understand that fear is not a bad thing. It's just not something you desire or want behind making any of your decisions. If you make fear-based decisions in this life, you will only create fear-based outcomes every single time. If you try to avoid fear or attempt to delete it completely from your life, it will sneak back in when your guard is down. Fearful thoughts are there to wake you up, to invite in your biggest self. As they are simply small, contracted truths about reality. It's like tiny grains of sand that can be so meaningless and inconsequential unless one of them gets stuck in your eye. It is amazing how something so small can create such a huge pain. In walking the path of fear, we are living from our ego. In walking the path of fear, we are living from our ego, because the ego is always feeling either superior or inferior. We become very controlling and judgmental. Living in ego, we become narrow-minded and completely unaware that we are abiding in a very small limiting truth. We know we are living from ego because we feel constantly unsatisfied, perpetually searching for the next fantastic thing or new pleasure to escape into. The ego does not know what inner peace is. It is untrusting of new things, sticking only to what is comfortable, and often feels caught in needing to protect itself from our emotions and feelings. The ego is always new. It always has new ways to hide or shine because it does not trust our inner light will always be there to guide us through the darkness. When there is no desire to dominate, no desire to cling, no desire to possess, this and only this is when the ego starts evaporating. In order to always choose trust over fear, always, we need to take a more sensitive approach. Choose to take a more sensitive approach to feeling into ourselves. So we can see when we are in a state of trust of fear, in a state of trust of fear, you can check in any moment of your day what is going on in the area around your heart and chest. If it feels expansive and light, you're in a state of trust. If it's tight and heavy, you're holding on to fear. The general feeling you carry in your chest is your trust barometer to see what types of choices you're making every day. When we are living each day of our lives in fear, we tend to want to control everything and force our way through this life. We tend to live in this hurry it up mode, rushing through each sacred experience, missing out on the small precious moments where it could have felt as heavenly angels were present. When trust does not become a natural response to this life, we become afraid to make decisions. We stop taking risks. We feel stuck in some weird emotional prison and perpetually unhappy for no reason at all. When fear is more important than trust, we feel like a failure in this life. Instead of simply removing the small speck of sand from our own eye, we spend our time trying to change ourselves, others, and the outer world. Once we discover how to trust in the experience of trust, a bigger truth takes over our lives, and the walls of our fearful, boxed-in life slowly fall away. If you need to liberate yourself from a fearful state, you must choose to welcome all your fears with 100% trust and remember everything is perfect exactly as it is. This universe never makes mistakes. We simply have to accept or choose to accept every pile of manure as a message that we need more fertilizer. If your life or mind becomes too overwhelming or challenging, simply refocus your awareness back onto the biggest feeling of trust that you can remember. Dwell only on that trusting feeling for 1 to 2 hours. Give yourself permission to stop dwelling on what you fear. In a very short time, you can find the spiritual light start seeping back into your very soul again. Do not rely on the mind for liberation. Do not rely on the mind for liberation. Nisargadatta. There is an amazing infinite universe all around us. Each of us, each day, there's someone who discovers that. Outer space extends far beyond what we can see with any high-tech cosmic telescope, which can view star systems 13 billion light years away. This incredible universe is also a living, breathing experience that extends infinitely within us. It continues deeper and beyond the atomic quantum particles, which are amazing yet ancient electron microscopes can barely see. And when we look inside ourselves on a conscious level, using our minds to explore who we truly are, what we discover is yet another realm of infinity. Inside our minds, there are memories piled upon memories and beliefs within beliefs, all stacked to infinity. For every new thought that is forming right now, there are a dozen new thoughts soon to follow. Just sit down on some lazy Sunday afternoon to spiritually investigate who you really are, and you will find you can ascend and descend forever within the deepest realms of your very soul. However, what I find most fascinating inside this infinite mystery, inside of it, is in the relationship that's manifesting between our inner world and our outer universe. It behaves something like a perpetual reflection in a mirror. Whatever is happening within our inner world is attracting, magnetizing, and manifesting that and what we are experiencing in our outer world. For example, if I'm in a good mood today, all I see are happy, smiling faces wherever I go, and amazing opportunities seem to effortlessly float my way. Then, if I fall down into an emotional dumpster, the face of every person has nothing but gloom and doom smeared all over it, and it feels like my entire life is about to collapse. The law of attraction is unavoidable. It is unavoidable. Whatever we are feeling and feeding into emotionally on the inside is somehow always materializing into whatever we see, experience, and physically attract in our outer world. Another example of how the infinite reflection is showing up in our lives is how we move energy into form, create it in reality, how it manifests in our relationship with others. The more love, compassion, and acceptance we have for ourselves, the easier it is to have compassion, love, and acceptance for others. Or it's always that one thing which we absolutely dislike and cannot stand about the other, which is reflecting some part inside ourselves that we don't want to own or accept. If I am upset at my neighbor for being too dominating, controlling, and aggressive, instead of having compassion with him or her, then when I take a closer look inside myself, I will see I'm not okay with those parts of myself that feel too dominating, controlling, or aggressive. It's all a deep and yet transparent mirror. Our inner world is an extension of our outer universe, and the outer world is an extension of our inner universe. This means that this life extends into infinity in every direction and dimension. Our inner and outer universes are never separate. Even though your physical body appears to be a completely isolated entity, it is not. We live in one sacred ocean of energy. There simply is just one universe that extends for infinity into the outer realms in all directions and inner dimensions. You contain the wet and salty qualities of the entire ocean, and yet are just a single drop in it. The ocean waves are always moving you and flowing through you as you. He who thinks he is the doer is also the sufferer. Ramana Maharishi. The essential problem I find most people are having with this life is that they are not reaching deep enough inside themselves to reconnect with their actual living, breathing, infinite spiritual essence. Our spiritual nature is a real thing. It is our most basic reality. It is what keeps our hearts beating, our breath breathing, and our life force moving through us in every moment of existence. You don't have to breathe you don't have to breathe. Your body does it for you. The same as with your spiritual essence. It is living and creating through your physical body, unfolding its essential karmic programming within this great cosmic playground. It's good to know that suffering happens only when the mind gets in the way. When we become overly focused on thoughts and material, things that make us feel limited or time-bound, we start believing we only have limited options. The realm of the infinite fades into the background of the finite, and we start taking and thinking everyone is living in a very small, contracted world. When we only focus on our needs, we forget how to connect with the soul of others. If we are always thinking about money and more material possessions, we cannot see or feel the infinite reality that is beneath it all. A majority of the rat race is trapped in thinking about time-bound appointments, which causes consciousness to squeeze itself into a tiny temporal boxes. Let's say 4:30 p.m. With this deadline coming, we just don't have time to feel what eternity is like when we only live in a limited tick-tock 24-hour clock world that is consumed with resources around money and material items. We instantly start feeling disconnected from the infinite eternal beings we truly and actually are. This addictive dwelling of the mind on what is not infinite or eternal is what makes us feel spiritually disconnected from every living being on this planet today. We were all born with a limited time-bound physical body so that we could acquire a contrasting perspective and experience ourselves as the infinite eternal beings we actually are. We have the capability to create, manifest, and experience anything we desire. We are all the children of a great universal consciousness, God, that is impregnated with unlimited potentiality. If all this talk about the infinite is expanding your mind too much to handle today in this now, just remember that your inner world is always impacting and manifesting something in your outer world. Every thought you believe to be true is what is creating your very reality. Your thoughts are always flowing through you and are always creating everything in your life. You will become whatever you think in the future. So be aware of your innermost thoughts, and you somehow remain non-attached. Your thoughts are not who you truly are. You are an eternal, infinite consciousness who is beyond form and beyond time. You are pure awarenesses, reflecting back on itself in this physical universal space and time. Let go of thoughts that were cycling in your mind yesterday and ideas about the way life should turn out for you tomorrow. Be here in the now. Now is the moment of power. Now is where enlightenment is discovered. For physically, you are forever forced to exist in this present moment. Your present awareness is always being generated from this present moment. Know this. Live and breathe within this knowing. If you want your life to be smoother, fuller, and more in touch with utter bliss, get in touch with your eternal essence. Let go of any limiting thoughts that you have and drop into the knowingness that you are an infinite soul who will never, ever, ever cease. If you crave for some secure life that is easy and light, give that experience to yourself on the inner world within first. Find out how to soothe yourself emotionally, giving deep, robust, tingling sensations to every corner of your body, mind, and spirit. This great experience of divinity is always available and ready to take you into the higher dimensions. Your greatest life is ready for you here now. So open yourself up and welcome it in. You will find the infinite within the finite. Trust the process. Breathe it in and enjoy every breath you are given. Meditation is a listening with a receptive heart. Meditation is a listening with a receptive heart. Meditation is a listening with a receptive heart. Buddha. Now, if you will, go to a place where you're not going to be interrupted. And I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies. No one's going to relax your body but you. Period. You're going to argue that with your ego mind if you choose. It's always going to come out that you're the only one that can relax you. Any stresses, anxieties, tensions, fears, turn to them, embrace them full body, give them a kiss, lots of love, they will vaporize. And every time they try to resurface, do that again and again and again. And eventually, you will be automatic. Your body responds. It relaxes. Do you think your soul breathes? The soul gives the energy to the body, so the body breathes for you. So you relax. Feel the wave come over your body, head to toe, inside and out. All that stuff that we all entertain ourselves with, good, bad, and different, falls away. You become buoyant, almost floating. You lean into your God within you. Your God's the easy chair. So you're sitting with the God within you. You're so relaxed that you have not one thought. You have not one care. You are basking in the pure, deep, eternal love that you are. And we do this, as we do this, we move into the now. Because the now is all we have. It is the omnipotent power. We don't have the past. The past was the now. Now it is gone. The future isn't there because we haven't created it in the now yet. And the now stills the mind, the ego, and the subconscious mind. It stills them. What does that mean? It means you leave them. You step outside. You watch them. You begin to learn how to use them as tools. You stop being their slave. They're horrible masters. They're great servants. And all that chatter that we all of us experience, all these thoughts, tens of thousands of them, 24/7, they're quieted. Now, we all reminisce. We all have memories, great memories. Some of us have wonderful memories. We experience them. We reflect upon them. It could be a song or conversation with someone that you kind of float back in time. and you embrace those memories. Fun. But unfortunately, some of us will stay in a past, the elephant graveyard. Just picture that. Bunch of dead carcasses and bones, nothing living, and it's all dead. Some of us will just sit there, stay there, live in it so long, repeatedly, that we'll take that past, bring it into a future that doesn't exist, create that future from that past, and relive that past in that future. This is why a lot of us will say to ourselves, really strange, I seem to end up in the same place every time. Why is that? No matter what I do. That's the answer. Others of us wander. Nothing wrong with wandering. Wondering. Kind of fun. But when we stay too much in a future that doesn't exist, where we're wondering what if and when, what will it be like with this? What will I do with this? How will this happen? How will this affect me? When, how, what, why, if? And all is in the now. Well, how do we stay in the now? Our breath, which we take for granted every second of every existence we're in. Our breath is omnipotently powerful. It focuses us, relaxes us, soothes us, eases us, strengthens us. So when we wander off in these thoughts, because we do, all of us do, it's not like we're intentionally doing it. It's kind of like we just don't feel it. These thoughts come in and we just kind of float away. But if you're conscious, when you're consciously aware of that, it's just not a bad thing. You can say to yourself, okay, so I'm wandering off. I don't know why. There's these thoughts. So I'll focus on my breath. Every time you focus on your breath through your heart-mind, you will be in the now. Every single time. 3,000% guaranteed. And if thoughts come back in to try to pull you away, you will focus on your breath. And eventually, it will be automatic. Now you are relaxed. You're in the easy chair of the God that you are. You have no care in the world. Your body is great, floating. You aren't floating off in thoughts. You're in the now. And you have stepped outside your body. So you look at your body and you see these vibrantly colored wheels of light running from your tailbone all the way to the top of your head. All different colors, not like the colors you see on this planet. Much more vibrant and deep. And they look like they're almost like vaporish with a solid center. And each one's a flower. They're the shape of a flower, different flowers, each one, and different geometrical shapes in the center of each one. These are the conduits, energy vortexes. They're etheric in our physical forms. They connect us to all the particles of existence and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. They connect our organs, our breath, love, emotion, all of the inner workings of our emotions and our physicality and our organics of these bodies. They monitor, they let us know how we're doing physically, emotionally. So we see this red, vibrant red wheel of light. And this is the root chakra, the Muladhara. And this is our survival, if you will, our career, our money mindset, our sense of belonging. And it's blocked by fear. Your survivability is always blocked by your fear. You move to the orange wheel of light. This is sacral chakra, the Vadasthana. This is our sexuality, our pleasure, our connection and ability to accept others, and new experiences. And it is blocked by guilt. Our pleasure is blocked by our guilt. That's like when you're really having a great time, you're enjoying yourself, and everything's just flowing with you, and then all of a sudden, the illusion of the ego mind starts bringing in guilt. Well, I shouldn't be enjoying myself this much for this period of time. I should probably kind of back off, and there's others out. I don't deserve to be this happy. So the guilt blocks our pleasure. The golden yellow wheel of light, the solar plexus chakra, the Manipura, this is our personal power and ability to channel. It's our ability to be confident through the heart mind and in the flow of our lives, the confidence through our heart mind and the God that we are. And it is blocked by shame. Another illusion. And then we move to the emerald green wheel of light. This is the heart chakra, the Anahata. This is our ability to love. Our relationships, which are then connected to relationships and self-acceptance. And it is blocked. Our love is blocked by grief. Then we move to the blue wheel of light, throat chakra, the Vishuddha. This is our ability to communicate. It is our truth. And it is blocked by lies. Then we move to the indigo wheel of light. And this deals with insight. This is the Ajna, the third eye chakra. Intuition, sense of purpose, and direction in this life. Seeing the big picture. And it is blocked by illusion. And then we move to the crown chakra, the violet wheel of light. The Sahasrara. This is our direct connection to the divine, to be fully connected spiritually, the cosmic energy. And it is blocked by ego attachment. We are all consciously aware that we are of and from the highest, the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. These bodies that we're in, the heart mind, the ego mind, the subconscious mind, the higher self, the God, the spirit, the soul, the pure consciousness, all one. And we are consciously aware that we are heaven on this earth. The soul is the heaven. The body is the earth. You cannot not be. And every step you take, each of us takes, we create paradise. We cannot not create paradise. And we're also consciously aware of this. And we've learned to shine our light, the God force, love, light energy that's at the very core of our being, everywhere. flooding all of our brothers and sisters, head to toe, inside and out. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. Everything. Eternally, constantly. And we're consciously aware of this. So you have this planet that we're liberating, collectively. Bring it into higher frequencies and vibrational existence, in deeper eternal love and gratitude, deep eternal peace, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness. So we have a planet full of gods, consciously aware, shining their light. So you have a God planet that glows, which can be seen in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. We're all pieces of the collective consciousness. Some of us are just sound asleep. Others are kind of awake, or just beginning to awake. Others are somewhat awake, and others are fully awake. So we reach out to all the other pieces of ourselves who are consciously aware of who and what they are. So, all of the inhabitants of inner Earth, hollow Earth, Agartha, and beneath Earth. Many, many, many civilizations, species, yet only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light and the complete liberation of this planet. And they come in the billions, and they are with us now consciously. We call upon all the light energy beings out there that are in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light and the complete liberation of this planet. Now, they come in the Gugaplexes. One Gugaplex fills this entire universe. They come in trillions of Gugaplexes from trillions of universes. And they are with us now consciously. We call upon all the off-worlders, the galactics, and the celestials. Uncountable numbers. Yet only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, in the forming of this circle of light, and the complete liberation of this planet. Now, we're only familiar with a smidgen of them. Over 1,000 civilizations travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. And the ones that we're somewhat familiar with, Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Felines, Zeta Reticuli, the Nords, the Greys, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, the Avian, and many, many, many more. They've been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and slavery. And in uncountable numbers, they are with us now, consciously. We call upon all of our loved ones, all those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Yet only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, the forming of this circle of light, the complete liberation of this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. And in the billions, they are with us now consciously. We call upon all of the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on, in, above, and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now, in this meditation. We're only familiar with a smidgen of them. And their numbers are in the trillions, and we only see 1% of what is. They're in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations we've never seen before. And our familiarity, the sprites, the fairies, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. And in the trillions, they are with us now consciously. We're all gathered arm in arm, hand in hand, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all God. And we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. This circle of light is the light within each and every single one of us. It is the God force, love, light, energy. It is what our soul is made of. We are the God source. This light is so brilliant that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take over 1,000 billion suns in this solar system alone to even compare to its brightness. And we're flooding this light, pouring it over this planet, on it, in it, above it, and below it, eternally, always. This pure, God-force, love-light energy, bathing and saturating all of our brothers and sisters, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, 24/7, forever. See this and feel it through your heart, mind's motion pictures. We begin to levitate above the planet, and we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. It's everywhere. And we are met with trillions of vibrantly colored flashing lights. Beams almost look like laser beams shooting and firing everywhere. And when we look close enough, we see these perfectly etched tiny mirrors reflecting all of us gathered, the hundreds of millions on and off world in this meditation. We are all teachers and students of each other. We are all teaching each other something all the time. We are all students, and we are all teachers. We continue to levitate. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is the column of light that reminds us all that we are the power of healing. Always have been, always will be. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is the column of light that reminds us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is the column of light that reminds each and every single one of us that we're imbued from head to toe, inside and out, with a white fire armor. This emanates from the God force, love, light energy within our center existence. This white fire armor cannot be penetrated. You cannot have attachments. You cannot have demon possession, apparitions. You cannot be Wiccan, voodooed, anything. Ever. Always protected. Yet, only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, greed, anger, envy, stress, revenge, manipulation, lie, you will lower your vibrational frequency low enough to create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now, if you decide to do this, you're immediately met with the purple transmuting flame. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance. We send them to pure consciousness. Well, they are vaporized, never to be again. We are then met with the violet ray. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our highest of highest high harmonies and vibrational frequencies of deep eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is the column of light. It reminds us all that we are the sun. We are the sunlight. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the trees, the forests, the soils, the animals. We are the rain and the rainbows. We're everything. Sky, clouds. So the next time you're in awe of a beautiful sunsetter or sunrise or anything that sets you back in awe of beauty and majesty and divineness, it is you. It is you. You are in awe of the beauty and perfection that you truly are. We continue to levitate above this planet. And some of us decide to step outside of our physical forms and float effortlessly above them, if we're carrying physical form, and not all of us are. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. It's larger than this solar system. We created it. In the center of the column, there's this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is this huge golden white sparkling bowl of light. And surrounding it are numerous vibrantly colored rings of sparkling light. And they're all sending these misty waves, penetrating and saturating all of us head to toe, inside and out. The golden white bowl of light is deep eternal love. And then all the different colored bands are gratitude, well-being, humbleness, gentleness, kindness, generosity, bliss, joy, deep eternal peace, wonderful, massive wealth, health, abundance, prosperity. These are all reflections of the God Force Love Light energy that we are. At the top, we designed it so that the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, as it does eternally always, flooding this entire planet and its civilizations, on it, in it, above it, and below it, endlessly. The purest of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love. This planet cannot not be liberated. We are all drops of this golden ocean. We hold the essence of this golden ocean. The ocean is the drops, and the drops are the ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. We created this sphere over 3 years ago. It holds over 1,300 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Hundreds of millions of us on and off world, in all existences, focused on this planet, this civilization, this solar system, in pure, deep, eternal love and gratitude. All of these meditations, vibrating at the highest of the highest high frequencies, flooding us all. This is why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And this is why it continues to intensify. And this is why it continues to expand. Feel this love, this energy. You cannot be truthful if you are not courageous. You cannot be loving if you are not courageous. You cannot be trusting if you are not courageous. You cannot enter into reality if you are not courageous. Hence, courage comes first, and everything else follows. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move slowly and easily. You can't change the truth, but the truth can change you. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We will return here Sunday, April 4th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation called The Liberation of This Planet Earth, Gaia, Arya.